Happy Friday. As you are coming in, please let us know where you're streaming from.
Let us know where you are streaming
It
from.
is a beautiful Friday
It's awesome.
in Florida. We are at a restaurant called Hunt and
Hunt
Gather.
and gather, huh?
Hunt and Gather in Fishhawk.
Yeah. So, anyway,
Yeah,
my name is Jomo,
I'm Charmaine.
and we get together on Friday nights with real, raw, and relevant conversation dealing with relationships.
Yes.
Tonight's topic, I was just sitting kind of feeling a certain kind of way.
You were feeling a certain kind of way?
I felt a certain kind of way
Today? Oh,
today.
okay, okay.
So, I was having a conversation with someone,
Hmm.
and my mind ran to something when a person's done.
What is your
So,
mind telling you?
example, I'm done with you.
I'm done
Or,
with you.
I don't know if you ever said that in your relationship where you say, you know what, I'm done. Or it was a breaking point, or they say, that was a straw that broke the
The
camel's
camel's
back.
back. Yeah.
This is the last thing.
Right.
So the question we ask ourselves is, how do we know when someone's done with us? Or better said, what are some characteristics
Hmm.
of a person that may be done with you, or for you, I identify that I might need to be done with this relationship.
Right. Right. So you're
So,
not wasting your time.
correct. So, here we go. We're going to jump right in.
Okay.
The first thing is the communication breaks down. They don't want to talk to you.
Right.
It's amazing. I remember a coach would say this, Jomo, as long as I'm yelling and screaming at you, I still care.
Well, this is something that I used to say all the time at the very beginning of our marriage because he'd be like, "Why are you so emotional about it?" And I used to be, when I'm not emotional about it, I am done. Like, I don't care anymore. You don't
Mm,
want me not to be emotional about it. You want me to care about whatever it is I'm trying to communicate to you or that I'm frustrated about in the relationship. And it was like it really wasn't, it didn't hit the way I wanted it to.
mm,
The community that me communicating that you didn't understand that part. Like, you can still communicate without it being so emotional, but when someone's done, they are they don't care. They don't care what your response is. They don't care how you feel about it. Um, there's no connection there, right?
correct. So once you don't want to talk, you're
Mm-hmm.
in a bad place.
Right,
Okay. Next one, there is no emotional connection.
right. So it kind of wraps up what I
You're
just said.
numb.
Yeah,
Another word is you're numb.
right.
Uh, and sometimes even when they do stuff, you just ignore it now.
Mhm.
Stuff that
It
you
doesn't
say,
even bother you anymore because mentally you have checked out.
oh, that's a good word. You have totally checked out.
Right.
And we can understand this because if you've been through enough heartache, pain, disappointment,
Right.
you will eventually no longer expect anything from them
Hmm.
that may be of wow. It's
Right.
crazy. You'll see people check out but have kids in the house, and that's when you see they have a process of communicating through the kids.
Right.
Uh,
Or they're solely focused on the kids so much so that they don't even care about the marriage anymore. The marriage revolves around the kids and the kids' activities and kids' life and school and raising children. So you've totally lost the relationship through raising kids and parenting. And this is when you see couples that divorce right after their kids
l-
go away and they're empty nesters because
correct.
there's no connection there other than the children, and you really lost marriage then
Yeah,
because the
correct.
children aren't your marriage.
Correct. The next one is harsh or critical words. I don't know if you ever
Mm,
spoken to a person before and it seems like they're really rude, sharp, curt. They don't really give you much
hmm.
feedback. It's really rough on you. So you have to be mindful when you're talking to people that, especially in a relationship, but when you see a person's always negative, always sharp, always everything you do is bad.
It's really sad when it gets to this place because it means that you don't care about their feelings, and you're you've checked out so much so that when you speak to them, you're not even really praying about your
Yeah, you
words.
just going,
You're not praying about your
you
actions.
going
You don't
hardcore.
care how they take it. Because before, when you remembered that you loved them and you cared about them, you cared about how what the repercussions of your words and your
Correct.
actions would be. But now you're at a place where you don't even care
Care.
what the residual of whatever you
Yeah.
say to them is. And we have to be so careful with our words, even when we stop When we feel like we've checked out of a relationship or we feel like we're done, you still have to be very mindful of your words, because we're still going to be held accountable by God, because you still want to walk a good Christian life.
You want to be
And
honorable.
exactly.
You want to be
And
honorable.
you still want to be righteous in a situation, even if you don't care about the person enough to be married to them or have a relationship
Yeah,
with
they're
them. You
still a
need to
human being.
exactly. They're
Even when they may
still
not,
God's child.
yeah, even though they may not be acting in the best fashion, you don't want to
Absolutely.
bring yourself down to that level trying to
Right.
respond. The next one is it's right there. Uh, no physical appeal.
Mm,
This is when you used to be ooh ooh ooh,
right.
and now you can't even stand to look at them.
And this doesn't necessarily mean that the person is physically unattractive, but they're unattractive to you because you know them
Huh?
as a person, their soul, their heart. And when you found that a person can be ugly on the inside, their outside appearance doesn't even matter to you anymore.
Wow. I don't know if you've ever known this. Not saying it's me,
Mhm.
first off, but have you ever noticed when you're having heated fellowship, people look ugly? It's like they may be a beautiful person or handsome person,
Because you see their soul man, right?
but it's amazing whenever you're in a disagreement or heated
Hmm.
fellowship, the
Hmm.
person may be beautiful, but they don't look beautiful to you based on how they're acting. You
Right.
may be beautiful or handsome, but your character, your words, your actions are not displaying that beauty, not displaying that appeal. So now they're no longer attracted to you.
Hmm.
Nothing turns them on or turns you on. You don't want to be touched. You don't want to be kissed. Everything that is a part of the animal attraction
Right. Right.
is gone.
Right.
So you have to be mindful in your relationship that when these things start to pop up, you are
Hmm.
on the highway to divorce, highway to breakup.
It's so hard to be intimate and have a physical connection with someone when mentally you're not with them, and
Absolutely.
you don't love them or care about them anymore. Like Jomo keeps saying, you're done. When you're done,
Yeah,
you don't want to have any type of physical connection with them.
correct. The next one is you don't
Hmm.
trust them. Now, here's a key aspect with it. Once you stop trusting,
Hmm.
that's foundational principle to where it's going to be very hard to move
Right.
past a lack of trust.
Right.
Trust takes time. And when trust is broken, it's
Right.
very difficult to recover from. Now, you
Right.
can.
It takes time
I met an
and work.
incredible young lady today, and she was just telling me how she had been through adultery in a marriage and how they went to work.
Hmm.
And she says, we had the best marriage ever. You can recover,
Right.
but you're going to have to put in work. You're not going to cheat the process, but
Right.
you can navigate through if you can make up your mind that we're going to put in the work
Hmm.
to relearn each other, to date again, and you can revive it. Like the things, the electrical scanners they put on people's chests, we say clear.
Right. Right.
Oftentimes,
To
for you,
jumpstart your heart.
you might not, you might need to take hands off of you. I mean,
Hmm.
you need to do some soul searching within
Right.
yourself to really work on it, because once
Right.
you lose trust, and it takes time, and you have to be willing to go through the process of regaining trust.
Right.
Oftentimes regaining trust means you have the repetitive action to whereas you consistently do
Hmm.
things what you say you're going to do.
Right. Oh, go on.
No,
I'm
you go, mama.
sorry. I was gonna say, when you're working on rebuilding trust as well, you're gonna want to one person in the relationship is gonna have to learn how to rebuild trust again, and the other person is gonna have to work on
Oh
forgiveness.
boy.
Because if both of you all aren't working on those two things, then you're not gonna come back to a mutual love for one another, the love that lasts, the
Correct.
marriage that's strong,
Correct.
the relationship that's successful. So you want one person is working on forgiveness, the other person is working on rebuilding trust. So it definitely takes a cohesiveness,
Yeah,
like a
it's a two-way
it
street,
is.
and the person who was offended has the right to create the parameters by
Hmm.
which trust can be rebuilt. And so with that, it's a process. It's dying to self.
Hmm.
It's sacrifice,
Right.
but you can do it.
Right.
Okay, the next one. You start fantasizing about other people.
Oh Lord.
You
And
are
we have to
gone.
be so careful in the world that we live in now. It's so easy to do that with social media
Yes,
and
absolutely.
commercials, and it's like
Absolutely.
every TV show now and movie that you go to, it has to be something inappropriate. So we have to be so careful, because this is another way, like you said at the very beginning of the video, that you can figure out whether you're done. Because
Correct.
before, you weren't even looking at anybody, no one was even attracted to you, the only person that you saw was your spouse.
Correct.
But now your eyes are wandering, and now you're looking at pictures a little bit too long
Lord
on
have mercy.
Instagram or TikTok, or you're watching somebody talk,
Or pornography.
Anything.
You go down the road.
It's another like check mark, like, hey, something's going on in my relationship. I need to figure out what's going on here.
To be clear, you could be married and start fantasizing. Okay, so I want to be clear about that. So it is a red flag.
It is.
Or an indicator that something's wrong, and you need to adjust, recalibrate. But when you start fantasizing about another man or woman that's not your spouse, it's a danger zone. So you have to be very careful with that. Lastly, you stop supporting each other's goals.
Wow.
Meaning you're all about you, and she's about her, but there's no collaborative effort to help you succeed. How can I join you with this? How can I help you with this? How can I assist you with this?
Right.
When you feel like you're on an island, it's because they've made you feel like you're on an island. You're not accidentally on an island.
Right.
You should feel supported in reference to, how can I help you today? How can I support today? What are you doing that I can be a part of? How can we bridge the gap? How can I be a ladder? How can I be a help to you?
It's nothing wrong when you're in a relationship to have individual goals and things that you want to accomplish, but you always have to come together and create goals together. So if I tell Jomo I want to work on my health this year, well, guess what? Since I cook for both of us, and that's something that we love to do together, that's something that we're both going to be doing now.
Correct.
Both of us are going to get healthy together, because I'm not just going to cook something healthy for myself and then cook something unhealthy for him.
Correct.
Because I love him. I want him to be healthy as well.
Exactly.
So that's something that we're going to do together. If he says, Charmaine, I really want to read my Bible more this year. Of course, I'm making things up.
I'm doing good on that right now. I'm doing really good on that.
The thing is if he says that, then if I see him reading his Bible, I'm not going to purposely interrupt him. I'm going to be very intentional about making sure that when he has that time that he can read his Bible, that I support him in making sure his environment is quiet, and making sure that the phones aren't ringing or the kids aren't, interrupting him or whatever, because I want to support him in his goals. So you have to make sure as a couple, when you do write your individual goals, that you come together and make sure your goals meet.
Correct. No doubt about it. The meetings got to meet.
Yeah.
So our whole key of wrapping it up is there are keys and indicator when your relationship is coming off course. So the key thing is, once you see one of these triggers, attack it.
That's right.
Have a sit down. Let's talk about it. How can we work on this? If it's trust, if it's fantasizing, well, okay, let's change it. Right. I want to fantasize about you. Go get her some clothes, get him some nice clothes.
Get your own video.
And make your own video. Now, you go wherever you want to go with that. I'm not recommending nothing. I'm just saying, if fantasy is what you want, go buy some wigs and just you can
and if communication is something you need to work on, get some books, take some classes.
Correct.
Watch some of our videos. We have a ton of videos
like 200
on
plus.
YouTube
Correct.
about communication.
Correct.
So just make sure you're seeking out whatever it is that you feel like is an issue in your relationship that needs to be worked on. Don't wait until it's the breaking point and you're done before you start working on things. Work on things as they're coming up, so that way they don't become a big issue.
Listen to me. Maintenance is always cheaper than repair.
Absolutely. That's
I'm
good.
saying maintenance is always cheaper than repair.
You know what?
Focus on maintaining a relationship so you may not have to repair it.
What you just said reminded me. We have a book out right now called Mechanics of Marriage.
It is out.
You can go on our website, www.jomoandcharmaine.com. jomoandcharmaine.com. Perfect. It's on the screen. And you can go pick that book up, because it tells you the things that you need to do to maintain a successful relationship.
Amen.
All right.
Well, we love you.
Remember, love, laugh, and learn.
God bless you.
Peace.